Alright boys and girls, so I just had to duck my head to get under that incorrectly positioned wing. If it was the correct position I wouldn't have been doing that. But then you'd have been walking around it. Calm down. Welcome back to LewDix Aviation, welcome back to another video. Yes, we're floating another skyboat today, 670 Mike Alpha. Today's student pilot is someone you're very familiar with if you've been watching the channel for some time. Not been on the channel for a while, he's not been flying for a while. It's Mike. He's got a couple of popular solo videos on my channel, and yeah, he's not been flying for quite some time. So, I think this is the third week in a row that somebody's wanted to come and do some landings after a long time being out. That's what we're doing today. We're going to get Mike back into the skyboat and see if he can get some nice landings on a beautiful day here in Kissimmee. A little bit cloudy, but there's hardly anybody in the traffic pattern, so we're going to be taking off runway 33. Winds are coming from the north, so we're going to be taking off runway 33, staying in the pattern and seeing if Mike can get some nice landings out of this, seeing how he does after a while of being out of flight training. Listen to the disclaimer and let's roll.
Welcome to LewDix Aviation, the home of fun-filled aviation videos. I invite you to like, subscribe, and enjoy the flight as I welcome you to the sky. LewDix Aviation videos are edited to be as entertaining as possible. This may remove context. Many procedures, situations, explanations, and flight phases have been edited out. Do not use for instructional purposes. This video is for entertainment purposes only.
Ground, Skyhawk 670 Mike Alpha is at Odyssey for touch and goes with pop-up. Executive did.
670 Mike Alpha, Kissimmee from Odyssey, make a right turn out onto Charlie, hold short of 33 on Charlie.
Right at Charlie, holding short runway 33, 670 Mike Alpha.
Yeah, you said exactly.
Yeah, I did say funny. That's like ingrained, we'll have to get
exactly, yeah. Very nice though, you've not forgot radio calls, that's cool.
We're going right to there, right?
Right there, yep,
right.
Exactly.
670 Mike Alpha, keep it rolling, cross runway 33 right on Alpha.
Crossing runway 33 right on Alpha, 670 Mike Alpha.
670 Mike Alpha, cross 24, indeed to exit 33.
Crossing 24, 670 Mike Alpha.
Perfect. A couple of weeks ago I had a guy, 20 years he didn't fly for, and he wanted to come back and practice some landings. And then like a week after that I had another guy that hadn't flown for 2 years, did really well actually, did really well. And now you say about 14 months we've not,
yeah, 14,
not done this?
Yep.
So we'll see how you do. Do you get any proficiency back?
I haven't been cheating on the simulator either, so it's a true 14 months goal.
No way. No way, coming in cold. Cool man, let's talk about it very quickly. We're gonna see, let's see what you remember. Turning, what's your VY speed?
79.
79. What altitude are you gonna turn onto crosswind?
700.
Perfect, and then your downwind is at what altitude?
Here it's gonna be 11.
Perfect. Abeam the numbers, power back, 10 degrees of flaps below 110, about 80 knots on the descent, 75 on base with 2 notches of flaps, 60 to 65 on final. Bring it over the runway, low enough, then eyes to the end of the runway. Let's see how you do.
Second tower, Skyhawk 670 Mike Alpha is holding short runway 33, ready for departure.
670 Mike Alpha, semi-tower runway 33, clear for takeoff, left traffic, pull midfield.
Clear for traffic, left, clear for takeoff, left traffic, 670 Mike Alpha. We gotta knock that out.
I just call him executive all day.
Like so ingrained, I did all my hours at executive.
Exactly, right? Exactly. You're giving them an upgrade by calling them executive.
Alright, we're all lined up. Shouldn't go feet to the floor. Airspeed's live. Engine's looking good. And we'll rotate.
Welcome to the sky, man.
Yeah, welcome. It's been a while, man. Go pitch for VY. So not bad. Taxied alright.
Yeah.
Procedure needs work on, of course. Kind of forgot a little bit about that, but we got her up in one piece.
Exactly.
See if we can get her down in one piece.
Yeah, that's the test.
Yeah.
Now just look over this side because we got the whole runway here. We need to bring it up.
Bring it over.
Right,
no
exactly.
Now, even though this is Mike's first time back for many, many months, I'm still going to hold him to a respectable standard. I usually find that the first pattern and landing are the bad ones of the bunch, but the good thing about Mike is he demands a high level of performance from himself.
And you've got to remember, this is not going to be perfect, but whatever we can get, we'll take.
Start crosswind.
Cool.
Yeah, I see what you mean. We drifted a little bit off.
Kissimmee Tower, 979 Romeo Charlie is with you for the visual 33.
I'm a stickler for a symmetrical traffic pattern, and Mike's already noticed that he's allowing himself to deviate from that. You can't see it from the footage, but this graphic will show you the comparison between the first pattern and the rest.
Zero Mike Alpha, stay on downwind, there's King here about a 4 mile final, you're gonna follow him, put him inside.
Staying on downwind, looking for traffic, 0 Mike Alpha.
Now that's impressive, because the radio transmission from the controller was tough to understand, but despite his long absence, Mike's radio skills are up there with the best. But even King Charles would struggle to hear the next one.
Zero Mike Alpha, just enter left, 40 feet.
Oh God, it's desperate. God, the mountains is brave and close now, right enough.
Wants me to what?
I have no idea. Ask him to say it again.
Say again, Pacific Tower.
Oh God, you wouldn't give a long getting the ankles frostbite off you.
I have no idea.
Zero Mike Alpha, the King here, just enter left, let me know when you see him, 1200 feet now.
We're looking 0 Mike Alpha. I don't see him, do you?
Yeah, I got him in sight. I'll wait for you to see him.
Traffic in sight, 0 Mike Alpha.
Zero Mike Alpha, follow the King here, you number 2, runway 33, clear, touch and go.
Number 2, runway 33, clear, touch and go, 0 Mike Alpha.
Perfect, man. Great job.
Thanks. Now it's gonna notch flaps in. All of the ground markings are gone.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you don't know this, the markings here.
Sorry, though, that should be no.
You're doing it perfectly. This is extended, so this isn't even like a normal one.
Yep. Okay, another notch.
I love it. Look at that. 75 on a base. Amazing.
King 9 Roman Charlie, where you parking? Odyssey. 9 Roman Charlie, left turn, Bravo. Bravo Delta Odyssey, just monitor ground point 7.
Hello.
Here is a textbook example of why I don't like a long final leg. Not that we had a choice on this one, but it's why, when able, I prefer to keep a tight pattern. A long final leg gives you more opportunity to descend too low, which is what Mike is doing here. Going below the glide slope this far out presents obvious threats in the shape of the many different obstacles below us and forces Mike to have to correct, which detracts from a stabilised approach. We'll revisit this on the next pattern.
Add a little bit more power just to hold it so you can get that nose down to the runway. A little bit more power. There you go, there you go. Now you can kind of get that nose down. There you go, that's what we want to see. Airspeed's perfect. Add a little bit of power. There you go. There it is.
Alright, flaps are up.
Welcome back.
Alright, now we know what to fix.
Yeah, right. The first one's always the bad one.
Yeah.
The first one's always the bad one, so this one's...
Hey, but we didn't break the plane.
No, no, exactly. How do you feel?
Good.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. It ballooned a little bit as we flared.
Yep.
So at that point, yeah, I saw you kind of just holding it where it was, so then eventually that would have come down and
Too hard.
Too hard.
Yep.
So you just add a little bit of power just to restabilize, get the nose down, and then settle it down. Or in that situation, you can go around.
Go around.
Exactly. Just left the center line.
Yep.
Of course, but we'll see how this next one goes. That's the bad one. That's the first one out of the way. That's shaking off the rust from these limbs. Just remember as well, on that final leg, you want that nose towards the runway the whole time.
Okay.
So aim
bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let that speed drop off too much. But you're right though with what you said. You've got no reference.
Yeah, no, you're kind of blind a little bit. Well, we'll develop them.
Yeah, you'll develop it. Absolutely. You're already on this one. You're already more symmetrical than you were on the last one.
Last one, yeah.
0 Mike Alpha, runway 33, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 33, 0 Mike Alpha.
So the first pattern was extended and led to us being low on final and having to adjust. On this approach you can see we're closer to the runway and higher, which is the way that I prefer. This will allow Mike to keep the nose of the aircraft pointed towards the runway as he adjusts his power for the descent. And you'll see throughout his approach he doesn't have to adjust his pitch too much, which makes for a much more stable approach and ultimately, well, just watch.
Great job, man. Holy shit.
Release the Kraken! Said we're going to see some goals. I didn't think it would be so quickly.
That was a lot softer.
Wow. Second one. Hey, I'll get out. I'll see you later. So, the whole pattern was so much nicer, symmetrical. You know, just backed off the power, let the plane come down, one notch of flaps at 110 and then the rest at below 85, and you just, even on final, you'd put your 2 last stages of flaps in, it's no problem. Drop them in, drop the power, it drops in, you kept the nose down, beautiful pullback and flare at the right time.
Thanks, Lewis.
Wow. Second one back, it's been like 14 months that he's not touched an aeroplane, not even touched the simulator.
Not even the simulator.
Not in the sim. Alright, now you've got to replicate it.
Right.
Now, I've always said that landings are the most difficult part of flight training and flying in general. That's especially true when you're not proficient like Mike. The footage is sped up to show you that the way he's flying the pattern is very similar to the previous one, which is great, but the lack of consistency can be the undoing of it all.
Harder that one.
A little bit. It was just the little balloon, it was just the flare was just a little bit high. Where are you looking on the runway for the flare?
I don't know, to be honest.
It's all
yeah.
Yeah, look at the end of the runway and hold that nose to the end.
Okay.
I don't know if you're looking straight in front of the nose.
It might be, yeah.
That's usually an indicator of, oh sorry, a high flare and a drop is usually an indicator that's where you're looking, so look at the end. But again, the traffic pattern is beautiful. The first one was more of a skew.
An oval,
yeah. An oval, yeah. This one's nice and symmetrical, rectangular. It's great, man. It's great.
Thank you. I don't know if that was as good as the one before the last one, but better than the most recent one.
Better,
for sure.
Better than the one previous.
Yeah.
The one before that, the first greaser,
Was better.
was better because it was the longitudinal axis was on the center line.
Okay.
That one was just a little bit off, so just a little bit of rudder control. Really nice. You brought it lower into ground effect, and you just, instead of pulling back too much, which would balloon it, you just held it with the nose at the end of the runway the whole time. Let it bleed off, and then pull back a little bit as it drops. How are you feeling?
Good, good.
Good.
Yeah. I don't think I would have killed myself if you weren't sitting next to me, which is a good sign.
I'm just giving little hints, tips here and there. I've not jumped on the controls. I've not helped you with anything. You know, that's like 14 months, over a year of not flying. It's not supposed to be this good. It's funny, like even to this day, like your solo video in the Cherokee actually, still gets people commenting and saying, "Oh, congratulations, mate." Still to this day.
Well, it's very rewarding thing to hear.
Yeah, man.
Up to now, we've spoken about how consistency affects landings and also how variables affect them as well. But what if a variable caused a pilot to do something to destabilise the approach on their own? Let's see what happens with that, shall we?
There, Mike Alpha, keep that turn final in the square. I'm going to be crossing the citation cross runway, Charlie.
Alright, we're squaring up. Jet Mike Alpha.
Max flight owner is proceeding by 7 kilo Dega. So he's crossing somebody over the runway. So you've done all you can there to square it up. That's as much as you can do, you know.
I think we'd overshoot if I...
Yeah, exactly. That's as much as you can do, which looks like he'll be clear by the time we're down there.
Now, the variable given to us by Tower is the traffic crossing the runway. Because of that, Mike has kept the aircraft high on final, but that's okay, because as pilots, in our toolbox, we've got the forward slip. Fairly simple, but when you've not practiced for over 14 months, not so easy.
Bit of slippage.
Trying.
I think it was a good idea for Mike to go for the forward slip to lose altitude, but the execution wasn't quite right, which is completely normal for not having done this for over 14 months. But it's led to an unstable approach. We've lost the aiming point, the airspeed is too high, and it's a fight to get the aircraft lined up with the centreline. It is savable, but it takes patience to bleed off the airspeed and re-stabilise in ground effect. But on this occasion...
And go around. There you go. Perfect.
I'd like to take this opportunity to preach. A go-around is not a bad thing. In fact, your first plan should be to go around in case something doesn't quite work out. But just important as making the decision to go around is knowing how to execute it. And even after his long break, Mike is going around flawlessly.
We were too high on that approach to start with.
Too high, and the slip...
threw us off. Center,
yeah, threw us off, exactly. With the wind today, it's kind of variable. I was looking at the windsock, it was kind of coming from this side, so you'd want to dip the right wing in that situation.
Okay.
Which will...
we did the opposite.
Exactly, so on that side it's just pushing you off that way.
Yep.
But yeah, it kind of destabilised things, and again, we had a lot of energy. At first you were doing the right thing, you were holding it, but then I think it was just a little bit of him like not being patient enough. Pulled back to try and flare, and it was too much energy, and it ballooned. And again, we just held it there, held it. You started to hear the stall warning. You go around.
We're not doing as bad as I thought, though. No fatigue issues or anything like that. Mental load, nothing.
Yeah,
we're doing good. Just getting the muscles working the same coordinated way again.
And if you look at it, it took you one pattern to get the muscle memory and stuff back to fly the pattern nicely. You're flying the pattern better than me. Like. It's really nice, man. It's just those last little few seconds on the landing. That's it. It's always been like that with you, though. You know, you'll see something that you do wrong, and we'll talk about it, and then you'll fix it.
Yeah. All imparted by a good instructor.
Stop. Over the period of 3 years.
Yep. That's why it's been drilled in.
Yeah.
Kissimmee Tower 670, Mike Alpha requesting full stop.
Zero Mike Alpha, runway 33, clear to landing. You plan to roll along down to Charlie.
Alright, let's see if we can make the best one.
Yes, sir.
Real good to be back, though, Lewis. I really appreciate you
I'm glad, man.
making this happen.
Yeah, no worries. Absolutely.
If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll leave it a like and subscribe so you can join the fun. I like making aviation as accessible and enjoyable as possible for not only my students, but my viewers as well. Those of you that want to take your support a step further can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to exclusive perks, including early access to every video and exclusive aviation content. The link to my Patreon is in the description. Other ways you can support me are by using my discount codes for various things like Flying Eyes Eyewear, which is the best eyewear for pilots to wear under our headsets, Airport Tag, where you can find tons of aviation themed gifts and even customize them too, Avglass to keep your aircraft windows clean. But as always, the main gift for me is knowing that you enjoy my content. So let me know what you thought in the comments. Thanks to Mike for letting us watch his flight, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Flip out.